Okay, so the purpose of this video is just to show you how you could use a bit of chord knowledge to write a whole melody step by step. It's recapping the previous videos in this series about melody writing, and it's just to show you how you can combine techniques to make things a little bit more effective. So just to recap, we're in the key of C major. We are using C, D, E, F, G, A, B and C as our melody notes. Our chord sequence underneath, which we've got a note of somewhere, of course you have, is chord 6, A minor, chord 4, F major, chord 6, A minor, and then the dominant G to a C, 5 to 1 there, creating a perfect cadence. Right, and here is the process that we've been using. So we've started by having a funky rhythm. And I've done a variation on our chord sequence. Here is the chord sequence. It's really basic. Really straightforward. I've started with a different rhythm for you to have a listen to this time, and I'm going to use notation to show you what's going on. So I have got an A rhythm there. I've answered it with a B rhythm here, and here is the A rhythm again, and this is a C rhythm. So we've got a little question answer, question, different answer structure going on, and I've used notes from the chord tone. This A here is part of A minor. This A here is part of F major, which is the chord underneath. We go back to an A minor, so this A is fine. And then G features in the dominant chord, G major, and C major as well as its fifth. Okay, so different rhythm this time. Okay, it's very basic, but it'll do for the time being. I then started to use chord fragments. So we might describe it as a triadic melody or a broken chord melody. It's okay, this one, but remember, if we try and use the whole triad, it can start to sound a little bit clumsy. So these two notes here, A and C, all come from the A minor triad underneath, A and C. And then if I go back here, we've got an A and C again. I like writing like this, so you try and sort of share notes over between chords. It helps things sound tighter and like they're actually related to each other. We repeat the A phrase then with this, another set of A to C's, and then here I've just decorated the dominant chord G with its root and its third, and then the root and the third is C. And this now anticipates the C chord a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Right. Okay, so chord fragments working really well. Here is that thing, what you've just heard, but this time it's being decorated with passing notes, notes in the scale that step from one to the next. And I'm just looking at that thinking that's wrong. It should be this one here. Ah, yeah, it is right. Okay, so yes, we've got a passing note there, we've got a passing note there, and then we've got passing notes here. Alright, so this one sounds like this. Interesting thing there, which you can try and do on purpose if you're feeling a little bit advanced, is that this passing note here, the B, is on the beat and it then resolves to a chord tone, and that helps create a little bit of tension, and then which is then released when it goes to the note in the chord. And that actually happens here as well. Off the beat with the chord tone, on the beat with the passing note, and then resolved. And that's just a little nice way of creating some tension. You hear that again? So it's okay. It's a reliable way of writing a melody. Here we have tried to do the slightly more advanced thing where we go outside and then in. So let me put this on so you can hear it. This note here, it is in the chord, it's the 7th, so it is a tension note, we are allowed to use it. This B here is anticipating chord 4, and then I use it again. I've replaced the C with the B, and those are tension notes which then resolve. I use that trick again here. Oh, I've made a mistake. Let's just bring this down. Actually, let's leave it, let's see what happens. Okay, and now I've done here, this should be the G chord, so G is traditionally G, B and D. This C is not in the chord, it's outside, I then resolve it. Okay, and then I do the same shape here. Okay, that F is not part of a C major chord, C, E and G, which is the chord going on that last half of the bar 4 of the phrase. It then resolves to a note on the beat. So have a listen to that one. Okay, now that there has got a much wider range now, with the lowest note in that melody is a G and the highest note in there is an F. So that sounds like we're working towards something. This sounds like we're going towards the chorus. It sounds a little bit more dramatic. It's got a much wider range. I'll talk over it a bit better this time. Hear it again. Okay, so it sounds like it's going somewhere now. It's got a bit more energy to it. And then the last one, and this is what the whole purpose of the video really is, we start to use combinations. One bar maybe of passing notes with an answer of leaps, using triads or broken chords. When we start mixing things up a bit, we start to show that we're a bit more advanced. You have to create workarounds to solve little problems. You end up with stuff which is a bit more interesting. So let me show you what I've done for this version. Okay, so I've gone outside, that G is not part of A minor, and then it goes to there. We've got this outside note again. Okay, now then we've repeated that phrase, no problems at all. And then here, instead of just doing sort of decorated triads, I've done a much bigger leap, and I've used a triad leap there. C and E are both parts of the triad. This D on the beat, but it's not part of the C triad. These 3 notes here should all be in the C triad if you're being really boring. The D's not there, it's on the beat, it's outside, it resolves to a note which is in the chord, and then we do a little leap to another note that is in the chord. So this has got little combinations of ideas, and it just shows that we're a little bit more advanced. Alright, and the fact we got an octave leap there, wider intervals are more expressive. Okay, so there's a little an idea about how to write melodies which are a combination of using chord tones, in other words a triadic or broken chord melody, using scales, using a good rhythm first off. There is one way that we haven't discussed, and that is to use your voice or grab your instrument and try and jam it out. I bet you anything, if you just scat sing or try improvising a melody over your chord change, you will end up using these little structures which you come up with, which will make it sound effective. So, melody writing, start with a good rhythm, hit the notes in the chord if you're not certain, use passing tones, use triadic melodies, only use fragments of the chords. If you want to be more expressive, use bigger intervals. You'll end up with something decent. Practice your art and the craft will come. long way round. Practice your craft and the art will come, and I'll see you again soon.